Hi, I'm Andy from Kombi Campers. This is Penelope, one of our classic T2 camper vans. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all around the van and explain how everything works. At the moment we've set the van up so that it's got the roof up. The roof is easy to operate. Again, that can be shown later on. But let's have a wee look around. One of the simple things we have with the camper van is the door handles. They're not like your normal car doors, but they are very simple. It's just a case of pushing the lever, the door opens. It's as simple as that, but they are different to your normal car. We've also got a big sliding door in the van, and I'll show you how that works. At the moment we've got the door open, so I'll show you how to close it first of all. What you need to do is the big handle, you push it down, the door will move forward, a hand there, and just close the door with a little bit of pressure. You've got a nice smooth line there, that lets you know the door's closed. Simple. But to open the door, it's just a reversal of what we've just done, and that is the handle, pull the handle down, and the door will jump open, and you just slide the door open. And it should click, click, door's open. Just outside you've got a small table, used for whatever you want to use it for, mostly for chopping up vegetables or having a cup of tea when you're standing outside. Underneath here we have some shelves for general storage, salt, pepper, whatever you want really. Table just clicks when it's closed. We've also got a little table that also comes out over the top. Same principle as down there, another area to prepare food. And inside here we have a sink, which is, I don't need to explain what a sink's for, but you have a nice sink in there, and the water will drain out from the bottom of the van. But if you're going to use that, please make sure you put a bucket underneath there to catch the wastewater so that you can empty it in the campsite waste disposal area. Going in here, we have two things. We have the fridge. The fridge is a 1976 fridge, same as the van, and it still works. Works off electric and it works off the battery. It's not the most efficient fridge in the world, but it will keep things cool. But just don't expect it to be as efficient as the one in your house. On top of the fridge, we have a small cupboard. And in the cupboard, you keep your cutlery, knives, forks, spoons, everything you'll need for a camping holiday. You've also got inside here a kitchen roll and a chopping board, all safely tucked away inside. Right, now we're inside. What I'll do is put the lights on. We've got LED lighting on both sides of the van. One switch for this side and one switch for that side. So you've got 6 LED lights. Really good at night time. You've got plenty of light here, read your book, have a party, it's great. In this cabinet here we have a wardrobe. You open the door and you have a wardrobe which is big enough to take coats, jackets, and you can put your boots in there if you want. Plenty of storage space in there. Up at the top here we have, it's just a shelf, but you can keep things up there like books, magazines, maps that you're reading at night time. And we'll work our way down the cabinet here. On this side, we lift this little lever up and pull this down. And voila, we have your cooking facility. We have 2 burners and we have another burner underneath if you wish to grill things. It's worked from gas. It's very, very simple. You just turn the gas levers, light it with a match. Simple as that. Just remember, don't use it at night time. It's only for cooking. And to put it away again, you just pull this back up, close the lever, all done. We have another cabinet. At the moment, what we have in here is what you get for washing. You have 2 dishcloths, you have some clothes pegs, a washing cloth, dishwashing liquid, hand sanitizer, match, scourer, and antibacterial wipes. Everything you need. Doesn't look a lot, but it's everything you need. So that's kept in there. And the last cabinet, the last cabinet down below is the gas bottle. Now there are 2 gas bottles, one is a spare. Should you run out, it's just a simple case of unscrewing the gas bottle and swapping them over. So there's plenty of gas, don't worry about that. Next thing, we have the storage of all your pots and pans and plates and everything you need for cooking. So that's kept underneath these covers. You can access it from this door here, but it's easier to show you where they are from this angle. So down here you've got your kettle, plates, cups, glasses, egg cups, cafetiere, everything you need. You've also got your pots and pans, 2 pots, frying pan, all nicely contained in there. In a camper van it's important that everything is kept tidy because you've not got a lot of space to work with. So that gets kept in there. And you also have a water container, which is not in there at the moment, but we'll put one in when you're going your trip with fresh water. And we just put this all back together. Simple. We have a nice table, which the table spins round so you can have it at any angle you want. So if you want to sit here or sit there, it's not a problem. The table is kept safely when you're travelling. It's kept in a small cupboard at the back of the van here, up at the top. The tabletop, let's put my tea down. The tabletop just comes off like so. The table comes off. Table leg comes out, and that's stored upstairs in the cupboard. Rock and roll bed, nothing to do with music, but all to do with how the bed works. There are two slots underneath the seat, and you just lift the seat up and you pull it towards you, or you rock it towards you, and then the bed just rocks and rolls down into its position. And what you have now is a huge double bed, very spacious, very comfortable, built by the Germans in 1976, and it is still the same bed, and it's still as comfortable as when it was made from day one. To put the bed back up, it's very, very simple. What you have to do is do a reversal of what we have just done. So you lift the bed up until you hear the bed click, click, and then you rock and roll it back down. Job done. At the back here we have a carbon monoxide detector. All we ask is that you don't take the batteries out. If it's beeping for a reason, so please don't take the batteries out. Down at floor level we have a 240 volt socket with 2 USB charging points. We also have a third socket which is at the front of the van. These sockets will only operate when you've got the cable hooked to the side of the van and onto the campsite electrical supply. You have a battery indicator which will indicate how good the batteries are in the back of the van. So you've got your leisure battery and your engine battery, and that's just by pushing this little button. The indicator will tell you how good the battery is. Green's good, red's bad. We have 3 switches, and each one of the switches, the top switch when the red light comes on is for the fridge. The middle light is actually just for electrics, general electrics in the van, and the bottom light is for your interior lighting. So it's like a master switch, so if you've got all the switches on, you can just kill everything from this control panel. You have a 12 volt socket also here, so if you want to charge up your sat-nav or any other 12 volt devices, you can use this socket. I meant to mention earlier, this van has a battery charger, and when you're hooked up to the mains electric supply, this light will light up and it will tell you that the batteries are being charged when you've got the electric hookup. The rear door, very simple, just push the button, lift the door up, and you've got access to the back of the van. Put your cases in the back there. Remember when you're travelling to always travel light, don't bring too much stuff because you just end up having to move it around about the van, and it's the last thing you want to do is at night time moving cases from the front to the back, the front to the back. So travel nice and light. Now when this door is open, always remember to close it when you're bringing the big roof down for the pop-up, because what happens is the roof will hit the top of the door. So always remember when the roof is coming down, this door needs to be closed. Below here we have the engine. Simple again, push the button, lift up the lid, and down below we have your engine. The Penelope's got a big engine, it's a 2-litre engine, still not very powerful, but it's a big powerful engine for a Volkswagen from 1976. And all we ask you to do is to look after the engine when you're driving. Looking inside the engine, we have 2 batteries, one on this side of the vehicle, and we also have one on the other side. The one on the left hand side is for the engine, that looks after your engine, and the one on the right hand side is for the electrics inside the camper van. So if you have a flat battery, if you've left something switched on at night time and you can't start the engine, that's the battery that you need to charge up on. We do keep in the back of the van, underneath the rock and roll bed, we keep a small basket, and in that basket we have jump leads. So if you need to jump start the battery, we've got leads in there. We have a puncture repair kit, which we ask you not to use, but it's there in case you have a real emergency. And we also keep in there small bottles of Coca-Cola filled with oil. Now you're saying, why have I got Coca-Cola bottles? And that's because to get into where you need to put the oil, there's not a lot of space. Now, talking about oil, we need you to look after the engine oil level. It's very, very easy, and you need to do it once a day before you start your travel. So you come round to the back of the van, open the engine bay, and down here you've got what's called the dipstick, which we just pull out, and we use a cloth or a bit of tissue, and we just wipe the old oil off. And you'll see on the stick there are 2 marks. We need to have the oil between these 2 marks, preferably nearer the top mark. So you've wiped the stick, you put it back in, all the way in, and then you take it back out again. And that will tell you the level of oil. As you can see here, the oil is just up to the top mark, so that's perfect. Should you need to put some oil in the engine, you unscrew this cap here, and glug, 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 a small amount of oil at a time. Check it again until you get to the right level. Try not to overfill it, just a little bit at a time until you get to the right level. You will not need to use it very often, but we ask you to please check it every day. Look after the engine, and the engine will look after you. Now we're round to the back of the other side of the vehicle, and we have the petrol cap. It's not diesel, it's petrol. It runs on unleaded fuel, and you get 25 to 30 miles to the gallon and potentially 200 miles travelling distance with a full tank of fuel, depending on how you drive it. Drive it nice and slowly, you get 25, 30 miles to the gallon. Remember, it's petrol, not diesel. Now, moving down the van, we have, down here, we have your electric hookup point. Now, to hook up, you lift this up, and you'll have the cable, which the cable is kept inside the van, underneath the rock and roll bed, and you just simply take the cover, plug this in, done. This provides you with 240 volt power for your sockets inside the van. It also will charge your leisure and your vehicle batteries overnight. So it gives you a nice clean, full power batteries in the morning. An important thing to remember, you always put the cable into the van first of all. The other end of the cable you need to put into the campsite electrical supply second. So always put this end in first, and the other end of the cable into the campsite second. Very important. You're very lucky with Penelope. Penelope's only got 2 keys. Some of the old vans that we have got half a dozen keys, but you're lucky in Penelope. We have a key that is blue, same colour as Penelope. That is the key that basically starts the engine and opens all the doors, apart from this big key, which is for the rear door. So we've only got 2 main keys and one other key, which is the one for the petrol cap. So blue key basically opens all the doors and the engine. Let's go and have a look inside the driver's point of view. Before we jump in, if we look down here, we've got a fire extinguisher. It's behind the seat. In the event of a fire, please get out. Don't think of saving the vehicle, save yourselves. Here we go. This will all feel strange when you jump into one of these vans. The pedals will all feel strange because you have to push your foot, lift your foot to put the pedals down. But to be honest, it is very, very simple. Don't get worried about it. Everybody thinks they're difficult to drive, but they're not difficult. They're very easy. You've got a big, huge steering wheel, and the controls are very, very simple. Key for the ignition is the blue key. The blue key always goes in with the pointy bit facing up the way. So you always put that into the ignition, and then you would start the van as normal, as you would normally start your own car. Controls, again, so easy. On this side we've put little markers on it so you can see this is for the wipers. It's 2 speed, 1, 2. On this side of the steering wheel, we've got the indicators, left and right, and also by lifting it up, your lights would flash at the front of the vehicle. Horn, very simple. Same place as you have in your car, just push the horn. On this side of the dashboard, we've got the lights. So it's 1, 2, and that's your main lights on for the front of the van. Again, we've put a sticker on there so it keeps you right. Always remember to switch that off at night time. The reason being, you don't have any warning buzzers or lights to tell you that your lights are still on, and you could wake up in the morning and your battery could be completely flat. So always remember, switch that off at night. Moving on to this side of the dashboard, we have your hazard warning lights. You just pull that out and both sets of indicators will flash outside. Back in to go off. You have 2 heating controls. The blue one here is for bringing cold air into the van, and these 2 are for bringing warm air from the engine through to the front. They're not that efficient, the heating in these old vans. When they were new, the heating was perfect, but over the years, some of the heat's got lost somewhere. But that's your heating controls. The last button we have on the dashboard is the windscreen washer button, and that is just a simple push the button and the water will come onto the windscreen. To put the handbrake on, you have to pull it out. That's the handbrake on, and to put the handbrake back off, you half turn it and push it back in. That's as simple as that. So, handbrake on, handbrake off. Gears are very easy. It's a 4-speed gearbox and the gears are marked on the ashtray. It's beginning to fade slightly, but you can still make out it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you may notice I'm just using my fingertips to change the gears. To be absolutely honest, if you're pushing the gears and you're not getting it into gear, you're doing it wrong. It's simple, 1, 2, 3, 4. As simple as that. And this lever here is to put you into the reverse gear. You lift this up, across and down, reverse. Back out, reverse, all done. Very, very easy. Right, now we're going to show you how to put the pop-up roof up and down. At the moment it's obviously down, and the way we put it up is, first of all, we need to loosen these toggles. There's one there, there's one in the middle, well, it's nearly the middle, and one at the back. Once these are released, the roof can go up very easily. It's lifted up with gas struts. I can lift it myself, but it's far easier. There's 2 people with you, and as such, I've got young Jasper here who's going to help me put the roof up. Yay! Hello. Okay, let's jump in, Jasper. You go into the front, and I'll go in the back. Jasper, you want to grab the handle and just push the roof up. Then what we do is we push out the 2 bars at each side. I'll put mine out first, Jasper. You pull it out till it clicks. And that's how simple it really is to put the roof up and down. The one thing about the roof you need to remember is it is a flexible roof. So if you're in if you're in an area of the campsite where it's getting a lot of wind and it's buffeting about, it's sometimes better just to bring the roof down at night, and then you're nice and cosy and you don't have the noise of the wind. But that's really only if it's really strong winds. Any other time it's perfect.